Good morning, everyone from the West Coast. All right, so yeah, we kind of knew this was going to happen, and it didn't help that the guy who had a NCAA transfer problems have now in old timely fashion he was going to be eligible, and I'm talking about the guy named Devontae Walker. So really good news for him is that he was able to come in and play for North Carolina today, as he has been able to play because NCAA has reversed their decision to let him play, and in timely fashion, it was against the Hurricanes. So yeah, and as far as everything else, yeah, this game was not good. It got closer than it should be, but it was far a little too late. I apologize if I'm yawning a little bit because I literally just woke up from sleep, and we're actually going to leave the cruise ship in in about a couple hours. So packing is a little bit of a pesky type of annoyance, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Alright, so let's jump right into this game because I don't want to recap this for too long because of the fact that one, the game sucked, and number two, the other reason I just said. Alright, this is not gonna work. Anyway, Hurricane starts off 5 plays in. We only get one first down in, which was Parrish getting 5 yards. Second and 5, Van Dyke completed Jacoby Joyce for 11 yards. That's good for the first. Van Dyke scrambles for 3 yards. Second and 7, Henry Parrish 2 yards. Third and 5, incomplete to Restrepo. So that was coverage there. So not bad for them. And then Hurricane. Excuse me. Hurricanes had a punt. All right, so next up is North Carolina Tar Heels. So, we knew how monstrous they're going to be, and I said in the preview, and I even said last week, do we even have enough to play against North Carolina? So this one we'll find out. And Hurricanes really coming off. I could have said this earlier in the video, but I'm just like really tired. Hurricanes coming off with a really egregious loss, and you saw that recap video last week. I was pissed off. It was horrible. It was just horrible. So what are they going to do here? So, North Carolina starts off with an incomplete pass with Drake May. Drake May is going to the NFL. He's going to be the top 3 draft pick. He is such a good quarterback. Drake May then pass incomplete to J.J. Jones. So then third down. And then Drake May himself scrambles for 10 yards. That ended up being enough for a first down. And then after that, this is a running back that is also going to go to the NFL. He's this good. Amari Hampton ran for 7 yards. Second and 3, incomplete. Third and 3, incomplete. So we force a punt. Then after that, what do we do here? Henry Parrish ran for 3 yards. Second and 7. Van Dyke ran for 1 yard with no gain. Sorry if I said 1 yard. Third and 7, there was a false start, so that made it even difficult. And then third and 12, Van Dyke incomplete to Restrepo, so it was a 3 and out. Then after that, it's North Carolina's turn. Omari and Hampton ran for 2 yards. Second and 8. Drake May passed to J.J. Jones for 48 yards. I mean, that's just terrible coverage. The one thing you understand with Miami's defense is when you're playing against a team like North Carolina, you're not going to succeed because I don't care how good of a defensive coordinator you are, you can't. Fuck. Anyway, first and 10 to Miami's 41. Drake May pass complete to Nate McCollum for 4 yards. Second and 6. Drake May for 11 yards himself, and that's good for the first. Omari Hampton 16 yards. That's first and goal. Omari Hampton for 2 yards. Second and goal. Offensive holding. Then, second 0, incomplete to John Copenhagen. So looking good for the defense until they did this. I apologize. Third and 0. Drake May pass complete to Devontae Walker, 18 yards. Oh yeah, I just explained about him. He scores a touchdown. His first touchdown catch with North Carolina, and that's his touchdown. That's 18 yards. So 7-0 North Carolina. Because of Noah Burnett's PAT is good. Okay, I might be a little bit pissed off right now. Henry Parrish Jr. ran for 7. Okay, it's our turn. Henry Parrish Jr. ran for 7 yards, second and 3. North Carolina penalty and roughing the passer. So that moves up for 15 yards. I mean, as a football fan myself, I really don't see how that's a penalty. I don't see how that's a penalty. Sure, you don't want to get hit in the head. You don't want the quarterback to get hit in the head like that. But I just don't think that should be called for a penalty. I'm sorry. All right, first and 10. Tyler Van Dyke passed to Restrepo 4 yards. Second and 6. Complete pass to Jacoby George, 37 yards. Awesome stuff there. First and 10. Henry Parrish ran for 3 yards. And then there was a penalty on North Carolina that gets us a first down. First and 10, Henry Parrish ran for 11 yards. He was so close to the touchdown. First and goal, Henry Parrish runs in for the touchdown. However, before he can even cross the freaking line, he ends up fumbling the football. And Cedric Gray recovers it. Oh my God. What's with these fumbles these past few weeks? What's with these fumbles? And it gets worse. During the game. God damn it! Like last week, when we didn't take the knee, we could have taken a knee, but instead Cheney, instead we make a play and Cheney fumbles it near the end of the game. This fumble was at the freaking line. He didn't even cross the line. He did not. And when he was trying to, then he fumbles it. We fumble at the worst time. Truly pathetic of this ball handling. All right. So North Carolina gets the ball back. Drake May is sacked for a yard loss. He tried to scramble up but couldn't make it to the line of scrimmage. Second 11, pass complete to Devontae Walker for 8 yards. Third and 3, pass complete again to Devontae Walker for 10 yards. That's good for North Carolina's first. Our British Books ran for 5 yards. Second and 5. Drake May sacked by Jared Harrison Hunter for 2 yards. Third and 7, offensive holding. And then Drake May sacked by Cameron Kitchens. That safety blitz. My gosh, and that's one of those bam sacks, and then he goes down. So great stuff there. However, before the first quarter and after the play, there was an unsportsmanlike contact, and not from Kitchens. That's a terrible penalty. That is a straight up penalty, terrible penalty. And that gives North Carolina new life after we literally just sack them twice and add up to the offensive holding. And then they did that. First quarter comes to a close. Second quarter comes up. Drake May has new life, and he was sacked by Cloy for a loss. 1 year loss. Second and 11, pass incomplete to Devontae Walker. And then incomplete again. So we got away with it. And then they forced the punt. So it's our turn possession. I apologize. Donald Cheney Jr. ran for 7 yards. And one of the things too is I'm kind of feeling a little bit sick. Allergies. Cheney ran for 7 yards. Second and 3. Pass complete to Kobe Young for 11 yards. First and 10, North Carolina. penalty. It's unsportsmanlike conduct. So they also got our sportsmanlike conduct, and that moves us up towards the North Carolina 30. And then it gets worse for North Carolina. See, in this game alone, North Carolina is actually getting beat up by penalties. Can the Miami Hurricanes capitalize on those penalties? So they got a defensive hold, and that gives us a first down at the North Carolina 20. So Cheney ran for 2 yards. 2nd and 8. Restrepo caught a touchdown pass from Van Dyke. So touchdown Hurricanes. And then Borregales kicks a PAT. And we are tied. So they did capitalize. And now let's see what happens at the next. All right. So North Carolina starts us off. Omari Hampton ran for 8 yards, 2nd and 2. Drake May scrambles for 3 yards, and the thing with Drake May is even though he can pass the football, he can also run the football. So he's that good. All right, 1st and 10, Drake May incomplete to Bryson Nesbitt. 2nd and 10, Drake May pass complete to J.J. Jones. 3rd and 4, incomplete, and North Carolina punts. So pretty good defense there. Next up, not North Carolina. They just had a possession. Miami. Jay Allen run for 3 yards. 2nd and 7, incomplete. And these incomplete passes, they weren't as accurate, and they were being tightly covered. And I should point out with these incomplete passes that Van Dyke has a index finger injury, and it was kind of rainy there in North Carolina. So there were some problems throwing the football. For Van Dyke at least, but for Drake May, it's no problem. But anyway, Restrepo tries again, and he does get the first down. So 1st and 10, pass complete to Henry Parrish just for not a good play. It's just like it was behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 13, Parrish ran for 29 yards to the Miami 45. So great run there. And then 1st 10, incomplete to Gantra Smith. 2nd and 10, Cheney Jr. ran for 3 yards. And I noticed with Cheney too, he's running the football with 2 arms this time, protected like a baby. I don't blame him because that was just a horrible fumble last week. 3rd and 7, Van Dyke scrambles for 5 yards. He wasn't able to do so. 4th and 2, the decision was to go for it. Van Dyke passed to Isaiah Horton. Ended up being a pretty good play call. So first down, Miami. Henry Parrish ran for 5 yards. 2nd and 5, wide open, Jacoby George for 35 yards. Touchdown, Hurricanes, and we take the lead. PAT is good. We lead 14-7. So okay, can we actually do this? Can we actually escape the hangover? Next possession. Omari Hampton, 12-yard rush. 1st and 10, Omari Hampton, 14 yards. 1st and 10. For 20 yards, Devontae Walker. So he was getting a running play. So this became a running battle because the pass rushing is getting exposed. Even though we have a pretty good pass rush, they figured us out. So first and 10, Omari Hampton for 3 yards. 2nd and 7, pass complete to John Copenhaver for 5 yards. 3rd and 2, Hampton for 1 yard. 4th and 1, there was a personal foul. Oh my goodness! And then that gives them the first down too. Then there's a timeout. Miami. Omari Hampton ran for 5 yards. 2nd and 5, Omari Hampton ran for 4 yards. 3rd and 1, I mean, you just knew it was coming. Omari Hampton, 2-yard rush. That's a touchdown, and they tie the game. And now it's 14-14. All right, our turn. Under 2 minutes. Henry Parrish Jr. rushed for 4 yards. 2nd and 6, incomplete to Colby Young. 3rd and 6, incomplete to Restrepo. That's 3 and out, Miami. Drake May pass to Bryson Nesbitt for 6 yards. Second and 4, incomplete. Third and 4, incomplete. So we forced North Carolina a 3-and-out as well. Okay, good. Now, let's see what happens at the end of half. Van Dyke pass complete to Jacoby George for 12 yards. First down and 10, incomplete. Second and 10, pass complete to Isaiah Horton for 24 yards. That becomes first down. And another pass to Jacoby George for 16 yards. That's good for the first. Team pass incomplete. I'm not sure what that means. All it means is Tyler Van Dyke just threw his incomplete pass. All right. All right, so second and 10. North Carolina penalty, defensive offside. So it gives us 5 yards. Van Dyke pass complete to Henry Parrish for no gain. Miami calls timeout because the clock was winding down. And then they just did a smart thing and they just kicked the field goal. And then when they kicked the field goal, it was 28 yards. And we lead the half. We lead the half 17-14. Okay. I don't want to get false hope here, but can they actually do it? Let's talk about it. And then let's see. So third quarter starts. Omar Hampton rush for 1 yard. Second and 9, pass complete to Bryson Nesbitt for 7 yards. Third and 2, we had them, and then we get called for holding. Just wow. What happened in that play was, I think it was Walker who was going to get himself open, and then our cornerback just held him, and then that gives him the first down. Now, granted, if that would have happened, he would have ran for a touchdown immediately. British Brooks rushed for 1 yard. And remember when I said they were going to run for a touchdown immediately if they caught that from the holding? There it is. Devontae Walker, 56 yards pass touchdown from Drake May, and it became a 21-17 ball game. See what I mean? You see what I mean when I said the defense is getting exposed. Anyway, Henry Parrish ran for 3 yards. Second and 7, pass complete to Restrepo for 8 yards. That's good for the first. Tyler Van Dyke, pass complete to Kobe Young. Tyler Van Dyke, pass complete to Jacoby George for 14 yards. So that's good. That's good for the first down. And then the announcer jinx. I remember this moment. They're saying, how accurate it was rainy, and index finger just how accurate the throw is. There was an announcer jinx. The moment they talk about accuracy and the ball movement and Tyler Van Dyke's throwing arm, they fumbled the football. They freaking fumbled the football, and it was recovered by Miles Murphy. Announcer jinx. Oh, but it gets much worse. Anyway, Omari Hampton ran for 11 yards, so disaster's going to happen. Omari Hampton ran for another 10 yards. Oh, boy, disaster. Drake May pass incomplete. Drake May sacked by Francisco Mugwa. So that's a 10-yard loss. That is a 10-yard loss. Third and 20, incomplete to Bryson Nesbitt, and before you realize it, they had the punt. So okay, what does the Hurricanes do? Remember, they said Tyler Van Dyke's throwing arm seems to be pretty good. The throwing index doesn't seem to bother him. It's raining. It doesn't seem to bother him. Right? Van Dyke throws a pick to Cedric Gray. Announcer jinx. Not only Cedric Gray picks up a fumble, but he picks off Van Dyke. It only took one play from our own freaking 14. North Carolina throws a touchdown. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just gonna put it out right there. North Carolina gets called for holding. First and 10, incomplete to British Brooks. pass incomplete to pass incomplete. It became 3rd and 20. What could have been second and 30, or what could have been 3rd and 30 if it wasn't that. It could have been intentional grounding as well, but it was a hold. It would have been 2nd and 30, but Mario Cristobal declined the penalty to make it 3rd and 20. I understand where he's coming from, but at that point I would have just backed him up a little bit more. That's just me personally. And then what does North Carolina do in this play? It could have been 2nd and 30. It became 3rd and 20. Big, huge play here, right? Devontae Walker gets a hat trick touchdown. Oh my God! It just never ends. It's just like these coaching is not that it's his fault, but the defensive coverage is horrible. It's horrible, and we get called for that sportsmanlike conduct, and it's just getting ugly. 17-28, and then worst part is he hasn't been good since. The accuracy just wasn't there. The coverage is good. Let's see what happens in this play. Parrish Jr. rushed for 1 yard. 2nd and 11, pass complete to Rochelle for 4 yards. 3rd and 7, Van Dyke gets sacked by Kenyon Rucker. Great, 3 and outs, just great. So they start at their own 40. They get called for a hold after a 3-yard rush. 1st and 17, British Brooks run for 7. 2nd and 7, incomplete pass to Nate McCollum. 3rd and 10, pass complete to John Copenhagen for 30 yards. 1st and 10, British Brooks rush for 4. 2nd and 6, Drake May complete to Devontae Walker for 7 yards. That's good for a first. 1st and 10, Amari Hampton for 8 yards. 2nd and 2, Hampton rushed for 10 yards. 1st and goal, Hampton rushed for touchdown. Fudge. And then now this game is just getting ugly. This game was getting really ugly. 35-17. Now, it's not as bad as last year where you remember that FSU lost. I'm just saying. Anyway, 1st and 10, complete pass to Rochelle for 3 yards. 2nd and 7, rush for 1 yard. 3rd and 6, North Carolina penalty, personal foul. 1st and 10, gets a new life. 1st and 10, Tyler Van Dyke sacked for 11 yards. Are you kidding me? And it was a 3-man rush too. 3-man rush, and he still gets sacked. What are you doing? Oh my goodness. 2nd and 21, Channing rushed for 3 yards. 3rd and 18, Channing rushed for another 3 yards. That ends the third quarter. And then Van Dyke throws an incomplete pass. Restrepo just could not find himself to be open, and it's just not good. It's just not good. North Carolina's turn. Drake May he rushed for 12 yards. 1st and 10, Amari Hampton for 4 yards. 2nd and 6, pass complete to Amari Hampton for 16 yards. 1st and 10, Amari Hampton rushed for 2 yards. That's a North Carolina penalty that brings it back. 1st and 18, Hampton rushed for 2 yards. 2nd and 16, complete pass to Nate McCollum for 15 yards. And then British Brooks gets tackled for a 2-yard loss, and that brings up Noah Burnett for a field goal that puts him up by 21. So 38-17 at that point. What does the Hurricanes do here? Let's see. So Van Dyke pass complete to 4 yards for Restrepo. 2nd and 6, incomplete to Colby Young. 3rd and 6, pass complete to Brashard Smith for 11 yards. Okay. First down, pass complete to Jay Allen for 1 yard. 2nd and 11, pass complete to Brashard Smith for 25 yards. He managed to stay in bounds on the left side, so pretty good play there. 1st and 10, pass complete to Isaiah Horton for 9 yards. 2nd and 1, incomplete to Tyler Harrell. 3rd and 1, Jay Allen rushed for 10 yards, a good rush there. First and 10, incomplete. Second and 10, incomplete. Third and 10, incomplete. And then they decided to go for it on fourth down. I mean, that's a good call because you're down this many points. What does the Hurricanes do? Restrepo costs a touchdown. He had to fly to catch that football. I mean that's just sick. And then that's touchdown Hurricanes. So now they are at that point they are down 24. They're down 24-38. Next up, North Carolina. I mean, just Amari and Hampton. You just can't stop him. He rushed for 1 yard. Okay, that's pretty basic. But then the next play, second and 9, he rushed for 60. Where's the pass rush? Where are they? It was at their own 30, and the next play is in our 10. First and goal, Drake May loss of 4 yards rush. Second and goal, Amari Hanson ran for 9 yards. He almost got a touchdown. Third and goal, pass complete to Nate McCollum with no gain. And then Noah Burnett just kicks a field goal to make it a little bit more difficult. 41-24. Okay, doable. Next possession, Tyler Van Dyke throws an incomplete pass. Second and 10, pass complete to Isaiah Horton for 12 yards. First and 10, Miami's penalty, false start. First and 15, Brashard Smith gets himself wide open. Where was this all game long? So anyway, that coverage blown for North Carolina. That's a touchdown. So then Brashard Smith catches the football and just runs it at 54 yards. So good play there. I mean, where was this the rest of the game? Honestly, let's be real. It's good that we're trying to make a comeback, right? 31-41. So we're down 10 points. Okay. So kickoff. Well, it could have been. I think it was an onside kick that made it look like a kickoff. But by the way, Devontae Walker catches the football from the line, and then really that starts them off right there pretty good. So then they bring in the backups in, because they don't want to hurt many people. Caleb Hood lost of 2 yards. Miami calls timeout, rightfully so. And then they do something ambitious with the next play. They try to have Devontae Walker try to rush up there, but that just didn't work. And then he ends up going out of bounds. That stops the clock a little bit, and then in third and 13 with 1:32 left after that. They lost 4 yards, and Miami calls their time. North Carolina calls their timeout after that. So then, North Carolina punts. Last chance for the Hurricanes to try to get down the field. So Van Dyke complete pass to Restrepo for 3 yards. Second and 7, complete pass to Jay Allen. Third and 2, incomplete. Fourth and 2, they had to go for it, and then complete pass to Tyler Harrell for 7 yards. First and 10, Van Dyke pass complete to Restrepo for 12 yards. North Carolina penalty and personal foul. So first and 5, I think he was offside or encroachment. Actually, it wasn't really a personal foul. First and 5, Tyler Van Dyke was sacked for 6 yards. Just awful coverage, awful protection there. Second and 11, pass complete to Restrepo for 19 yards. We're at the North Carolina 31. Clock winding down. So really, last play of the game. There's nothing really we can do here. Tyler Van Dyke just airs it to the end zone, and by the way, it was short, and then he gets picked off by Giovanni Bigger. So, yeah, and that's your ball game. That is your ball game here. Final score would be 31-41 North Carolina. In terms of team stats, total yards 482 for the Hurricanes, 508 for North Carolina. Passing is a little bit better, but the rushing, it made a difference in this game for North Carolina. We had 91 rushing yards. They had 235 Yeah, 235. And then we could talk about the penalties, right? We could talk about the penalties. They had about over 11 penalties. They had a lot of penalties. Yeah, oh, here it is. 14 penalties for 147 yards. They were getting beat by these penalties, and yet they were not able to lose. Just significantly bad. Oh, and they didn't commit any turnovers. You know how many turnovers Miami's committed? 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions, 4. And the fumbles hurt the worst. They hurt the worst, and one of them ended up being a scoring drive after that. Unless both of them both of them would end up being punting plays. I'm just saying, that you know how disaster could have been? Like Georgia Tech? I'm still pissed off about that loss. Only 1 interception with that scoring drive. All right, so the box score before we end things off. I'm not going to take too long because I have to get out of there. Tyler Van Dyke, 31-48, 391 yards, 4 touchdown passes. So at least there's some silver lining there. But he throws 2 interceptions. Granted, one of them was at the end of the game, so that didn't matter. Drake May, 17-33, 273 yards, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. Omari Hampton, 24 carries, 197 yards, 1 touchdown run. I mean, come on. I mean, there's no denying that. For Miami's rushing, none of them were over 100 yards. Henry Parrish with 73 yards. The longest was 29. And other running backs, they didn't get much chances. Cheney got 23 yards and 5 carries, but everyone else, not so much. Receiving, Jacoby George, 125 yards, so he was really good. He got a touchdown pass. Rajapa was pretty good too, but he was being tightly covered by the defense. But he does get 2 touchdown passes, and Brashard Smith gets 1 as well. Devontae Walker on his debut with North Carolina Tar Heels, after NCAA making these stupid rules, he gets a hat trick on his debut. I mean, wow. He gets, and it took 6 receptions too, and one of them was 56 yards. And that was that 3rd and 20 play. 3 touchdowns, man. Wow. And then Omari Hampton caught a touchdown pass from him as well. Fumbles. A offensive line fumble. It was that freaking announcer jinx I was talking about. And then Henry Parrish at the goal line fumbles it. And it was recovered by Miles Murphy and Cedric Gray. And Cedric Gray also was the one that picks off Van Dyke, and Giovanni Biggers just ends the game with that interception. And nothing much to talk about the kicking, punt returns, and stuff like that. Not much to talk about there. And then with this game, we end this game off 31-41, North Carolina. I mean, I kind of knew where this was going after that Georgia Tech loss. It was not a good game. It was not a good game at all. And then we got Clemson next. Oh, and with this loss, we're definitely not in the top 25 anymore. So that kind of sucks. And we lost 2 straight, both against ACC opponents. And we got Clemson Tigers next. even though they're having such bad season. Actually, they're not really having a terrible season, but they're having a little bit of mediocre season. The season where it could have been better for them, but Duke kind of ruined their season. But Clemson's still not to be taken lightly, and they're still a team to be forced to be reckoned with. And we'll see what happens next week against them. And after we got manageable, and after we still got a couple of favorable games in our hands with Virginia and North Carolina before meeting a monster team like Florida State. But anyway, there you go. In terms of where I am at this moment, I am back in Los Angeles, and I do have one more day here, and then that's it for me. So anyway, there you go. That's gonna do it for this recap. If you have enjoyed this video and not the game, hit the like button, subscribe more content. Excuse me. Hit the like button, subscribe more content because Miami TG has your back, and when he does, he'll be right there with you for the entertainment you deserve. This is my TV. Just saying now, folks. Good night, everybody.